What food do you swear people only pretend to like? The meals I prepare for them. Fondant on like wedding cakes. Circus peanuts. There's no way people are actually out there enjoying those things, but enough people pretend to keep them in business. I love circus peanuts, but also candy corn. So I'm probably not to be trusted. Stevia. There's absolutely no way someone enjoys that aftertaste. It's a weird cult that I'm not willing to join, and such a dominant flavor. Gold leaf. Need I say more? Extremely hoppy IPAs, if drinks can be included in the discussion. I enjoy bitterness in my beer, and I know there are some good IPAs out there, but it's gotten to the point that breweries seem to be competing with one another to see who can make the bitterest, most unappealing beers imaginable. They taste like earwax. Once upon a time I swore that salted licorice was the most vile thing ever to have graced our fair planet. However, about a year ago my wife made me try some, and much to my surprise, I liked it. Am dying inside. After scrolling through this thread, I'm starting to think there is something wrong with me because people are hating on a lot of my favorites. Just waiting now for someone to say licorice. I like a lot of stuff people are shitting on here, but I am in my 30s, so I think tastes change as you get older. Love me some cheese that smells of feet, anchovies on pizza, and coffee strong enough that I see through time. I used to go crazy for gummies, especially the sour ones. Now I find sweet things a bit meh, I can take or leave it. But you'll have to prise a stinky cheese board out of my cold dead hands. Coffee so strong you can thread the needle of a running sewing machine? Lutefisk. Defending celery with my life. RN. Ass edit. I hate you all. Hearin' a lotta knockin' and not much tryin'. Source. Guy that eats ass like colon cancer. Hakarl. I can't imagine someone coming in from a long day of work and tucking into a plate of fishy-smelling, ammonia-flavored chewy shark chunks that make you smell like a bait camp for the rest of the evening. It seems like survival food. You will stay alive if you eat it, but it's not appealing to me. If you're Icelandic, please help me understand why this is a thing. I can't imagine someone coming in from a long day of work and tucking into a plate of fishy-smelling, ammonia-flavored chewy shark chunks that make you smell like a bait camp for the rest of the evening. That's because that's not how it's done. Hakarl is part of the Oramator, i.e. food that's eaten on the Ori, which is one of the 6 winter months in the Old Norse calendar, now sometime in January or February. Throughout history, that's when most fresh meats would be running low, so people had to resort to more colorful diets, like fermented shark, soured ram balls, soured whale, boiled sheep heads, head cheese, etc. So you're correct, it absolutely started as a survival food, but nowadays it's a community event where people meet, have fun, and eat a buffet of all those foods I mentioned above, among others like smoked lamb, flatbread, and lots of other traditional Icelandic foods. Absolutely no one comes home from work and eats their fill of hakarl. They come home from work, dress up and go to the local Orablot, or hosts their own for family and friends, and eats a few pieces of it among all the other stuff, chats and has fun, usually drinking. Brennivin, literally translated as burning wine, although usually referred to as Black Death in English. So it's a seasonal celebration of traditional foods and customs, enjoyed with friends, family and community. Although having said all that, I've been eating hakarl like candy since I was like 4 years old. Lol. My grandma used to pick me up from kindergarten with a small box of hakarl and a toothpick to eat it, and I'd be content for till the half an hour just sitting and eating. But it's definitely not as popular among my peers. So basically what you're saying is, most people eat hakarl not because they like the taste, but just because it's a traditional thing you do at a particular time of year, and it's the experience and the togetherness that's important, not the actual food. In other words, you're implying it pretty much as a food that most people only pretend to like. I think this one wins the thread. Chitterlings. My mom-in-law made some at my house, and it smelled like a grown man shitted all over my home and walls.